All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. A day after the evil, derelict, animal Neanderthal Robert Westman opened fire on a Catholic school, killing 2 children, wounding 17 or 18 others before taking itself out. His mother, Mary Grace Westman, is basically on the run. She's on the run. She is refusing to cooperate with police, and she has also lawyered up, as they say. Now, don't take my word for it. Just watch this video. It is in fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. But her action seems definitely suspicious, and there might be a deeper reason why she's avoiding the law. Just check this out.
Thank you, Matt. A day after a mass shooter terrorized a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota, before committing suicide, federal agents continue to search for the shooter's mother.
Yesterday, Wink News learned she owned a condo in Naples, or perhaps owns, and our cameras exclusively captured members of the FBI looking for her there. Wink News reporter Maddie Herron joins us from that building now. Maddie, what have you learned about this investigation?
Yeah, guys, we know that yesterday when the FBI banged on that door, they made one thing clear. They were looking for a Miss Westman. Now, we know that within the past hour, Minneapolis police confirmed they have yet to find her. And what I can tell you is that we don't know what exactly for they are looking for her just quite yet. Maybe it's for questioning. We still don't know. But I can tell you that this neighborhood, they are in shock.
A Minnesota mass shooting investigation travels to Southwest Florida's front doorstep.
Ms. Westman, my name is Jake Christie. I'm with the FBI.
Our cameras were rolling when these agents identified themselves as FBI and called for a Miss Westman, Mary Grace Westman, the mother of the person who opened fire in Wednesday's tragic mass shooting.
So the question was, have we spoken to the shooter's parents and if there were any red flags that may have been missed? I know there were dozens of interviews that have been conducted with relatives, friends, associates of the shooter, as well as people, obviously individuals, witnesses that were present at the scene yesterday. I know we have not been successful in talking to the shooter's mother yet at this time, but there continue to be efforts made to get that done.
Wink News confirmed a Mary Grace Westman of Minneapolis owns this East Naples condo.
It was shocking, as it always is, and just a great tragedy. Someone who wants to hurt children, especially, but then hearing how close to home it was pretty shocking too.
This Berkshire Lakes neighbor did not want me to use her name, but shared she and others are shocked to hear about the tragedy connected to Mary Grace Westman.
She's been talked about quite highly, and she's been very helpful to a lot of neighbors when neighbors were in need. I feel bad. I feel sad that these kinds of things happened, and I feel bad for everyone in Minnesota.
The FBI tells me they cannot confirm the existence or status of any investigation per their protocol. They did refer me to reach out to the Minneapolis Police Department, which I did. I have many questions, as do many neighbors here in this Berkshire Lakes neighborhood. I've yet to hear back from them, but we will continue to push for those answers and bring you updates on air and online. But for now, live in East Naples, Maddie Herron, Wink News.
All right.
So there you see the FBI is looking for this woman, as well as the Minneapolis police saying that they have not had any contact with her. However, they went to some residents in Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken, and they found all the manifestos and all of these things. So where is this woman? They're being so vague about the information. All of a sudden, they don't know who he lived with, whether it was the mother or the father. They haven't contacted the father, and then investigators said they had talked with the father. They went all the way down to Florida, East Naples, Florida, looking for this lady. But no one was there. But she did hire an attorney, and I think his name is Ryan Gary. And Ryan Gary said, the attorney said, she is completely distraught about the situation and has no culpability, but is seeking an attorney to deal with calls like this. Now, if you don't have any culpability, if you're not responsible, then you can answer any call that comes to you. You know, why are you basically in hiding after your son does something like this? Now, it's also noted in this article that the mother applied for her son to legally change his name in 2019, writing that the minor identifies as a female and wants her name to reflect the identification. And right after that, it is not clear why the shooter's mother is not cooperating with investigators. And then it says, when asked by a reporter on Thursday if investigators have been in touch with the shooter's father, the police chief, O'Hara, initially said he couldn't confirm that. Now, they don't know nothing about the father, the mother. Let this been a black kid, they would have brought out his father's criminal record from 25 years ago. They would have said his father stole a crayon in the 3rd grade. Like, they would have went deep. Like, all of his mother's past indiscretions will be plastered all over the media. But now this family, nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows why she's clamoring up. Nobody knows why she's on the run. Like the chief in the press conference, all they kind of focused on was, the derangement of him. He was very deranged. He expressed hatred. We don't know why he did it. He literally told you why he did it. But also another article read once, I did mention the insanity of his sexual gender position. He actually said, "I am tired of being a trans. I wish I would have never brainwashed myself." That speaks for itself. He brainwashed himself, but where did he get the idea of that? From all of the brainwashing and pushing on this children at the age of 8, where they should be studying, like plumbing or life skills or anything. They're implanting this weird, perverted option and it implanting the mind. Like he literally said that he wanted to chop off his hair, but it would seem like a failure. I wish I never would have did this. The name change, all of those things is documented that he wish he never did, as probably a 23-year-old man now. Now, as a child, when somebody keeps putting that in your mind, then of course you're going to say, okay, well, maybe I'll do it. And then as you get older, you get some decision-making ability, because they say the frontal lobe of your brain doesn't even develop fully until you're 25. And that controls, logic and decision-making. So that's a whole nother story. But what's fascinating to me is, this mother is basically on the run. She's not cooperating after her son has done this. She is basically, just in the wind. Nobody knows where she at except, I guess, this attorney. And there's no, man for her to come forward. There's no manhood. There's no outrage against her. It's all, well, it's just sad happened. She's a wonderful mother. No, somewhere, somehow, she may have some responsibility. But the reason why she may be doing it is because last year a precedent was set in Michigan where a mother was sentenced to 10 to 15 years after another school shooter up there, committed an act, and they actually prosecuted her and said that they charged her with involuntary manslaughter because she showed gross negligence when, her son had drawn some photos and she had saw him. So it's obvious that that mother knew you can't have all of those guns and memorabilia and, manifestos and drawings and all these letters without your parent knowing that something is wrong with you. And that's, something that I think that they are once again hiding. Well, we don't know who we stayed with, the mother or the father, always trying to give them an out. But, I could not expect that if this was a black kid shooting, they would have everybody locked up until, they find the mother, the father, the babysitter, you know what I'm saying? The nutritionist, everybody, the weight trainer, everybody associated with the family would be held liable and under investigation. Everybody talks about, how, in California, in the Kamala days, they said she was locking up parents for their children not going to school. And so if that is the precedent that is sent, why this lady should be locked up for her child shooting up a school. Right. So, man, it's always a dichotomy, a double standard when it comes to these things. They're very, very vague. They can't confirm this. They can't confirm that. They don't know who he lived with. They don't know the motive. They don't know nothing when it comes to white school shooters. We're just trying to figure it out. But they can quickly investigate the Cincinnati brawl where, people are fighting and everybody gets, they send the FBI down there to Georgia to get one person. So it's amazing to me, man. And, they're trying to spin the narrative, as just, he was just a mixed kid. And, we don't know why. I mean, we all know why. This is probably because he came from a broken home with no father and very little guidance. They should have, what they say about black kids when, they get in trouble. But, I'm just waiting for more information to come out with this lady who is pretty much, in my opinion, on the run. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.